So if you're an avid watcher of my channel, you know that there is a designer fragrance house that I absolutely despised up until now, and that is Issey Miyake Leau Dissey, at least that line. There are other fragrances and other lines that I've tried that I like, but in the Issey Miyake Leau Dissey line, or Leau Dissey line, I haven't liked any of them, but with that said, in all fairness, I've only tried their fresh fragrances. I've never tried their fall and winter fragrances. And so in my live the other day, I was talking about how I really wanted to try Noir Ambre, and so one of my subscribers, Eddie, sent me this Noir Ambre, as well as Polaris, which I'll review another day. I haven't tried it yet. But Noir Ambre, I have now tried it for a few days. I've worn it, and I want to tell you about it because it's definitely one that changes my mind on the brand. So without further ado, let's get it. Alright, my great smelling dudes, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video. Thank you so much for joining me for this really special video because it's one that changed my mind on an entire brand, to be honest with you. Even though I've tried a lot of the Issey Miyake fragrances in other lines as well, the ones from Leau Dissey, especially like the original and stuff like that, I've tried all the freshies and I hated them. They're too florally for me. Some of them feel like they're an old woman, at least in my opinion. I don't like floral fragrances, and it was like very similar to something like Moschino Toy Boy that I already don't like as well. And it kind of just reminds me of that. And those two brands I just really don't like because of certain fragrances. So I never really looked into any of their fall and winter fragrances just because of all of the ones I tried. I was just like, there can't be any good ones in this line. So again, I saw Noir Ambre. I saw that there was no floral notes really at all in the fragrance. And I was like, I want to try that, but I don't want to blind buy a Leau Dissey because of my history. And so again, one of my subs, Eddie, sent me this. It was about half filled, and it's a decant of Noir Ambre. So thank you to him. In this video, I'm going to be doing that. Before I get into the video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and if you like my content, please consider following me on Instagram and TikTok under Fragrance Dude or @Fragrance Dude. So I'm going to get straight into it here, and I'm going to give you the main notes that you need to find. I'm not going to give you a full note breakdown. There's too many notes. I'll tell you which ones that I pull from this fragrance. So the main notes in Noir Ambre are cinnamon, saffron, leather, amber, vanilla, and cedar. There's also some tonka and nutmeg floating throughout the fragrance as well. It's advertised as an amber warm spicy leather fragrance. So I sprayed it on my hand here. I wanted to get a little bit more of the dry down just so I could let you guys know. So you hear notes like saffron and amber and vanilla and tonka bean and leather, and it automatically reminds you of a bunch of fragrances that are out there. And so with that said, they are not as good as this one. And I can tell you that. Again, this is so good that it's changing my mind on an entire fragrance house that now I need to go try more. And thankfully, he also sent me Polaris, which I think I said that right, which I haven't tried yet, and I think that's also a fall and winter fragrance that I really want to try, and if I do like it, or even if I don't, I'll review it for you guys and shit on it. But with that said, in this fragrance, when you first spray it on, you get hit in the face with amber, spices, a little bit of vanilla, some leathers mixed in there, and really the whole fragrance is kind of like this and that all through the fragrance. Like there's saffron, there's spices, there's vanilla, there's tonka, there's nutmeg, and it's just all mixed together throughout the fragrance and not changing much as it goes along, except for some of that spiciness and saffron does dissipate as you get some woods picking up when you get into the base from that cedar, as well as the vanilla picks up as well. Really, it's just kind of like on almost any other fragrance. In the opening, they're really giving you their full appearance of the fragrance, what you're getting from the fragrance. Any of the heavy notes, they really come through, and then you also do get those ones that stick around, like the vanillas and the tonkas and the woods. They come through more as you get further into the fragrance, just kind of like any of these type of fragrances. The one thing that really stuck out to me about this is the freaking quality. I smelled this and I could have sworn that this was like a $500 fragrance, like a Mason Francis Kurkdjian, or like a Roja Dove, or something like that, because the quality in this fragrance is legit. I mean, it is legitness. It is absolutely fantastic. The amber is beautifully done. It doesn't feel synthetic, even though it is a synthetic note. The saffron, it feels like the saffron that you get in something like Baccarat Rouge 540 while not smelling like that. It's like red tobacco times 500 without the tobacco. It is just beautiful. Again, there's all these fragrances I'm mentioning. It reminds me like Carlisle, stuff like that. It reminds me of all those Memoirs of a Trespasser from what's it called? Imaginary Authors. It has vibes of that. More in the dry down though. So the main thing you need to know in the opening here is that saffron. It is the main note in there in the opening. You get a little bit of undertones of woods, you get some spices in there, and then there's leather that creeps throughout the entire fragrance while not being too leather forward. I don't like leather in fragrances as far as being a main note, and it does a really nice job of really blending here, and that's a really good word. So you have that quality, you have that blend, and then you have smoothness. And that is what the three aspects of this fragrance that really make it shine. The quality is there, it has a really nice blend of notes, and then it's super, super smooth. So any of the fragrances I just mentioned, I would pick this over that. And it's like, right now you can find it on Fragrance Buy for like 90 some dollars. And honestly, I'm paying that amount of money. It's already on its way. It's a banging phrase. If you like amber fragrances, if you like saffron, if you like a little bit of leather in your fragrances to add a little bit of that maturity, yeah. Not only that, there is a versatility factor that is in this fragrance that you don't find in the others. While it is more of a fall and wintertime fragrance, I can see this being worn all year round. More of a daytime fragrance in the cool weather, but as far as like the spring and summer, I could see myself wearing this at night. I could also see myself wearing this as a signature fragrance depending on where you live. It is honestly, it is beautiful through and through. It has a little bit of like a powdery creaminess, which, if that makes sense, there's powder from the tonka, and then there's a little bit of a creaminess, and then there's a unique spice similar to something like Sauvage Elixir, how they have that licorice and that nutmeg. That nutmeg really comes through in this fragrance, adding some additional spice to that saffron, giving it that unique quality as well. If there was a box to check of any of the unique or blends or anything, this would check and be at 100 out of 100 for every single one. Noir Ombre, if I'm saying that correct, by Leau Dissey, or by Issey Miyake. Leau Dissey Noir Ombre is a beautiful fragrance. I honestly don't know. I was so excited to review this. I didn't do my due diligence in letting you know if it's an eau de parfum or eau de toilette. So maybe I'll put it once I edit the video and let you know. As far as the performance, I'm so excited about the fragrance, I forgot about the performance. Well, it's pretty much on par with that. So you get about 2.5 hours of projection out of this. It's not a beast mode projector whatsoever, but it's also no slouch. It's going to be somewhere at moderate, I'd say about arm's length, a little bit over that for the first 2.5 hours. And then after that, again, it's smooth, it's calm, and it's comfortable. It's just, it works its way down. It never just goes like, you could smell it, you could smell it, you can't smell it. It's like you could smell it at an arm's length, people around you, and then it just becomes like more of a foot away, and then a little like 2 inches away, and then you can still get wafts of it for like another 6-7 hours. I would say you get about 9 hours from this fragrance. You can still smell it on your skin at 9 hours. I would say it stops projecting like even a little bit at about 7 to 8. So with that said, I'd say 8 to 10. That's about an average for this fragrance. Really, really nice. Leau Dissey Noir Ombre. I just had to tell people about this. Thank you so much, Ed, for sending this to me. Beautiful. It is worth a full bottle. If you can find it, get it. I don't care what the other bottles did, if they gave it a bad rap. If you feel the same way as me about the Leau Dissey line, get this. Just try it out. I know you probably can't get a decant, and if you can, get it. It is beautiful. Again, $94 on Fragrance Buy right now. You could probably find it cheaper elsewhere, maybe eBay. But yeah, let me know if you guys have tried this before, what you think about it, if you're interested in trying it. Again, sweet, amber, woods. It has all the factors in there. It's a niche quality fragrance. It is a nice blend, just beautiful. So thank you guys very much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Peace.